Let me introduce myself. My name is Stilton, Geronimo Stilton. I am a busy mouse. I run the Rodents Gazette, the most famous newspaper on Mouse Island. This is not me. This is the main character of the story that I would like to introduce to you. It always comes out this way of introduction where you come across the first page of every Geronimo Stilton's book. Okay. By the way, I would like to introduce exactly who I am. I am Chung, a student from SJKC Tsinghua. I am in year 5. I am the librarian. The story that I would like to introduce to you is Lost in Time, the fourth journey through time. In the story, Geronimo Stilton had to travel back in time to save his friend. Professor Paws von Waltz needed his help. Professor Paws had traveled back in time alone to find the evidence to prove that an artifact, which is a mirror, kept in the Egyptian museum was genuine. But now he was lost in time. Geronimo and his friends, Wild Willie and his cousin, Maya, boarded the professor's newest time machine called Tail Transporter to go find him. The mirror that first belonged to Cleopatra was the gift of her lover Julius Caesar, so they had to travel back to Egypt first. In the 48 BCE of ancient Egypt, Geronimo was nearly eaten by the lioness, which kept in a dank basin at the palace while investigating about the mirror. Fortunately, he found the mirror, and the message kept inside the handle of the mirror was proof of the mirror's authenticity. Although they had handed the mirror back to Queen Cleopatra, their task was not finished yet. They still had to trace the second owner of the mirror as well as find Professor. Next, they traveled to Mongolia, where they met and made friends with Genghis Khan and his wife, Borte, and helped them defeat their enemies by playing rock music. How ridiculous. Unexpectedly, Borte was the second owner of the mirror when Genghis Khan presented it to her. Once again, Geronimo Stilton and friends traveled on Tail Transporter to trace the third owner of the mirror in Florence in 1283. Then they met Dante, one of the greatest poets and philosophers of the Middle Ages. They found out he had a crush on a girl called Beatrice, so they pretended to be a band of traveling performers called Cupid's Arrows and helped Dante to woo her. Dante bought a mirror and presented it to Beatrice. It was the mirror that belonged to Cleopatra. We made sure the evidence was still inside the handle of the mirror before scurrying away to the next destination. London in 1595. In London, Queen Elizabeth was the last person who owned the mirror. It was kept in her secret room. Thanks God! Geronimo found Professor Paws von Waltz in the secret room. He was imprisoned there, polishing the Queen's coins piece by piece due to the guilt of rummaging Queen's jewels. Finally, they brought and returned Professor back to the present safely and also proved the authenticity of the mirror by taking out the message from the handle of the mirror. Wow, what an amazing story! From the story, what touches me is the true friendship between Geronimo Stilton and his friends. They won't leave any single one of them behind when they encounter difficulties. I have also learned that unity is strength. Teamwork helps Geronimo succeed in every difficulty he faces. Moreover, after reading all 310 pages, I have learned a lot about Egyptian, Mongolian, Florence, and British history. The author of the book is Elizabeth Adami, a kind woman that created lots of interesting stories just to entertain sick children. The books are aimed at children between the ages of 6 and 12 and have been translated into 49 languages. The illustrations are vibrant and funny, and the pages are alive with color. They have been sold more than 180 million copies all over the world. Geronimo is always characterized as intelligent and timid, but he is so kind that he cannot say no to anyone for help, even if he has to go on crazy adventures. Honestly, Geronimo Stilton's stories have inspired me ever-present values. Teamwork is more successful than working as an individual and never discouraged in negative situations. These values have become my motto, so I strongly recommend you Geronimo Stilton series, and I bet you won't stop reading until you have finished it. Thank you.